Hello. How are y'all this morning? Thanks, Carol. I'm glad you went and checked it out. Let me know if you think there's anything that needs to be changed. Yes, we have advertisements.
Yeah, I just laughed at what it was.
Hey, Diana. We're laughing at the advertisements of what they put on our channel for this morning. It's something about love soap.
You never know.
Hey, Heather, how are you? Hey, Mark. Yeah, that's an awesome Sunday morning ad.
And a long one.
Hey, Fork and Allotment, how are you? Y'all are gonna hear the puppies. They're cranked up again this morning. Oh goodness. Did I say long ad, y'all?
That's what I said, that was a long one.
Hey, Nadina, how are you?
Nah, finally.
Hey, Walterman.
Rainbow,
Renee,
good
how are
morning.
you? Hey, Mr. Jack.
Geeky Gardens, good morning.
All right, Roxy, do not get in the seedlings. I've got some on a low tray and she's sticking her nose in there trying to be nosy.
What was that?
That is him yawning, I guess. He's wanting to
Springfield,
slurp.
good morning.
Hey, Teresa, you watching your mama today? My goodness, give them their turn and maybe
Just
they'll
can't
go on.
stand it.
I know it. I figure if I give them a little attention, they'll go on and play or sleep or something. No,
No.
go get in your bed.
It's on second.
Go. They worse than children.
Hit a pitter patters.
Yep. I got the clippers out this morning and was gonna take care of those nails and ran out of time. Sunday mornings are usually pretty busy. Hey, Pete, how are you?
Morning, Pete.
Well, y'all, let me tell you, since I've got Stiver's shirt on, it reminded me they're premiering their new animals today at 1. So y'all be sure y'all catch them.
A little fork and allotment.
How's she doing, Teresa? Fork and allotment. His name is Chris. I think I remembered that. And he is
I probably won't.
overseas. Hey, Miss Patty, how are you? I know, Teresa, I'm kind of anxious to see what kind of critters they've gotten to. Well remembered. Hey, Brenda.
She's good on the names, I ain't.
Well, everybody becomes like family, and so I try to
Morning, Duncan.
try
Hooker's wife.
to remember everybody. I need to just make me a note cheat sheet, but I don't. I'd probably lose the note.
I think it's llama.
You think it's a llama? I wondered about turkeys, but they would put that down where the chickens and the guineas and everything else is. So I don't know.
Hard to say.
All right, Gus, quit. He's scratching. Sounds like he's
Sound like
knocking
a
on the door.
woodpecker out on the tree.
All right.
He's our woodpecker in the winter.
Yeah, you're a
You
pain in
don't
the
hear
rear. Is it bees? Well, they've already got beehives, and their neighbor does the bees, so I don't think so.
Sarah, Fishes and Lowe's, good morning.
They've built something for shelter for it. But it's not big, like not big enough for a cow or anything like that. So who knows?
All right, buddy, hop down. Redshead, good morning.
Hey, Holly. Glad you stopped in to give a thumbs up. I appreciate that. Pygmy goats, maybe. Well, see, now that's an idea. But on the other hand, why would they separate them from the other goats? I'm just not sure. Well, I'll find out in a little while. I was on my cell phone late last night, and I saw Zach posted the premiere thing, and so I thought, hey, I'm going to be one of the first ones to watch it, and I clicked on it and it said, in 15 hours. I was like, ugh. Okay, guys. Hey.
Now I want to play. Always. Never fails.
Thanks, Mark. If you or Mr. Jack want to post links up in the top of the chat, I put everything you could possibly think of so that y'all could just copy and paste it without having to exit out to other pages. But you do not have to. That's just if you want to. Pete, you been doing okay? I got to watch some of your live the other night, and Mom was ringing her bell, and Gil had his thing going on, and I had everything going crazy. I was trying to keep up with all y'all.
Had a pretty day yesterday, and now it's rainy today.
Yep.
Rainy and cold.
He's been working on the Mustang, and I've been working on the garden.
Mustang been working on me.
We're both sore. I've been pulling all that old weed barrier out that was more of a growing medium for the weeds. I mean, I'm pulling weeds and everything up. It's crazy. Hey, Lisa.
Morning,
Sam
Lisa.
is coming to help you. Okay. I ain't forgetting those title vehicles. Hey, about something else. Yeah. I was thinking about you yesterday, Miss Patty. I don't know how you're dealing with all that stuff that's all at one time. But we're praying for you. And don't think that anybody's forgotten about you, because we haven't. I may not say something all the time, but it's just because I feel like that's an intrusion. Just know that I'm thinking about you. Hey, Tracy.
Moon Farm. Good
Hey,
morning.
Thrifty.
50B.
Yep, it's family. Finally on my side. Yay, Teresa's copying and pasting. All right. Hey, 320, how are you? Just practice. Hey, practice all you want to.
That's right.
Pretty soon there's going to be a Hoss link out there to do. Hey, Kate.
Hey, Kate.
Oh. I know YouTube's been weird about the notifications. I'm not getting anybody's notifications. And
if I do get them, it's usually 30 minutes into their live already.
or after it's over with.
Yeah, it has been after it's over with.
Even Twitter's doing that. I know y'all gonna laugh at me, but I do follow President Trump, and I get his tweets hours and hours after he's already tweeted them. So, I mean, I don't know. I don't know if it's a World Wide Web thing or what.
Something. Which we have a lot of cellular service.
Teresa, yes, locally. For now, I'm not shipping plants yet. That is part of the 5-year plan when we get things really, really going. But I wanted to set up a website for the locals around here to kind of get things going. I'm going to be doing an LLC on it and going legitimate. This first year will probably be just mainly cash and carry, and me trying to learn all the expenses and keeping up. But we've got a good accountant that we've used for 30 years, so he'll let me know if I need to do something different.
We'll definitely be getting with him
Oh yeah,
when we go bona fide, so to speak.
yeah.
with it,
We'll be
for
doing
sure.
quarterly taxes and all that. I was looking at the dates on that. It's not really quarterly. It's like every other month.
A lot of factors play into stuff back when you get to that point. Sale taxes, you have to pay in them ever so often. And keep
That's
up
true,
with it.
Miss Patty. I have big dreams.
Yeah.
And he's just rolling his eyes, thinking, oh, word.
That's just a goal, but it's good to have goals. If you never set a goal, you never have anything to
Okay.
strive for.
When have I ever put my mind to something and not followed through?
I don't know what you're asking.
You're saying it's a goal.
Well, it
and
is a
you're
goal.
kind of like doubting that I'm
No,
gonna
I
make this
didn't
happen.
say I was doubting. I just said it's
I'm just
a goal.
warning you, it's gonna happen.
It's a goal to be set.
I'm being very positive.
But if you just set your goal as just
Hey, Linda.
to do what you're starting out just doing and leave it at that, then you wouldn't have never any excitement for future plans. So
That's true, but I'm an ambitious, competitive person. Sets more than goals. She's a. You want to be like him? No. I guess it comes from those years of being sick and not being able to do the things that I wanted to do, and then now I can, and here I am at 50
Yeah.
years old with big
that
goals.
kombucha book is on the couch.
Yes, right there.
Right in the middle.
I love that.
That thing don't get too far away from her, Pete. Think she got it on a leash.
Yeah. I had to put it up high the other day when the grandbabies was here. I was like, if they touch that, I'm going to kill them. I'm like, about that book and that tomato book, about the same way. There's the Bible, there's the tomato book, and there's the kombucha book. Maybe not in that order. The Bible first, of course, but the kombucha book and the tomato book, they're tops together.
While we're waiting on a few more maybe that didn't get the notification before we get into our little short devotion this morning. Speaking of goals, how about any of you guys' goals? Y'all got something set that you really want to get accomplished this year that maybe you've been thinking about for a while that you hadn't been able to do yet, but kind of got that goal set for this year, maybe?
Yeah, y'all are learning all about me while you're moderating. Y'all see that Young Living oil link? I've been doing that for seemed like close to 10 years. I don't talk about it very much, but I am definitely a believer in the oils, and I use them on Mom every night and sometimes during the day. I
One
use them on
video
me,
a
I
week.
use them on the dogs, I use them on the grandkids.
That's a pretty good goal.
Me too, Kate.
Cause
I'm not an everyday person.
unless you do that, you don't know how sometimes hard that is to do is to get a video a week out. It's pretty tough to get enough
Sewing.
comprised info on it.
That's awesome. I'm in the soil better this year. Me too.
Yeah.
Me too.
So,
Hey, Heaven's
soil is
Gates.
one thing that is it's a never-ending learning process. What to do
Got a
with it.
promotion as a voluntary job, and now shop floor manager, still unpaid, but I'm working towards shop management. Woohoo!
All right.
Go. I'm still on one video. Wait, my channel right now. I'm only doing lots of fixing right. Yeah. The thing with the live streams is you're getting immediate hours for whoever's in the chat. But most folks don't go back and watch a live stream unless they're trying to help you get time. They may put it on silent and just let it roll, and you know, that's what I do for folks, and that's what's been done for me. Is people would just put on the live streams and silence it and let it go. But that's the only way you're going to get a playback on a live stream, really. So, I think you need a healthy balance.
Yeah.
Mr. Darrell, they do nothing but lives and an occasional video, and that works for their channel the way it's set up. But I think for those of us that just talk about general stuff and homesteading and you know the critters or whatever,
Yeah.
one video a week
Editing the videos
is a good place to be.
There's a lot to that. A lot more to it than what you would think.
Yeah, a lot of people, the bigger channels and stuff, they do videos daily or every other day. I don't have time for that. I would like to. I don't remember to do it, for one thing. And sometimes things are so hectic with the 2-patient crew, it's like, just do what you can do and get it out there when you can get it out there. Hey,
1,000
Julie.
subs. That's a great, tremendous goal. Hope you make it this year.
You can make it. It took me about 6 or 7 months to hit the 1,000, and then it took a year and 2 days to hit the 4,000 watch hour requirement. But I didn't understand all that stuff either, and I wasn't trying to be all consistent and stuff. It was like, if it happens, it happens. I don't want it to happen too fast. And then bam, all in 1 week.
Yeah.
Last week was insane. I know that those of y'all that were on the live stream know what went on. First, my bank account was hit for $2,000. Somebody decided the Disney Store and Wayfair and AT&T prepaid Vestas or Visas or whatever they are was the way to go.
It's not a bad idea.
Hang on. And then we got the monetization, and we got the affiliate approval for Hoss Tools. I'm just waiting on him to get the link for me. And we received their package. And what else? Oh, we got our Amazon affiliate link set up. Got the website set up. So it was a crazy, insane week. But we finally got all the banking stuff situated, and got what actually went through back yesterday evening late, or yesterday sometime. Yesterday. So that was good. Hey, Southern Blast.
Yeah, it's not a
Hey,
bad
Organic
idea.
Raw Roots. I gotta put
a-
your phone number in my thing.
It may be a headache, but it's not a bad idea to whenever you use your card to either contact your bank or whatever, tell them to send you a text message, and just to confirm
Jesse.
that it's you that's using the card, whether it's for $5 or not. It's not a bad idea. I know it can be aggravating to get those texts like that, especially if you use your card a lot, but it may save a lot of headache in the end
Yeah.
to just confirm those usages on the card.
I'm using my PayPal for most everything now, and like yesterday I did have to go to the store, and I wouldn't run the chip card. I told the clerk, I said, you can punch it in if it'll let you, or I can write a check. Or, you know, because I forgot, I was going to get cash and go, and I'd forgotten to do that. I got sidetracked by something else. And but anyway, I ended up writing a check so that they would not run my chip card.
Yeah, it's not a bad idea online.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's getting crazy out there.
I think Amazon doesn't pull from PayPal, but it actually uses a routing number instead of a debit card number, or you have the options.
Yeah, Linda Reiner, that's exactly right. It's just that secure feeling over it to know that you reply back, yes, I made that purchase, even if it's for 99 cents.
Yeah.
It's-
Somebody told me about an app you can put on your phone where you can actually turn your card on, use it, and then turn it back off. And that's another way of doing it. I've not looked into that one yet. I'm just trying to be very cautious about our online bills that are taken out, like
Yeah.
insurance and stuff.
I would, and it's
Or
just
automatic is what I'm
my
gonna say.
preference on that. As far as the app, turn on and off, it is a good idea.
Might forget
But,
though.
well, it's just what if the weather's not permitting and you can't have service enough to pull the app up,
Yeah, I
and
don't
you
know.
need to use your card. So I would rather, in my opinion, I would rather just get a text verifying that I made that purchase. That's
You know
just
what?
me.
I've got the perfect solution. How about I let you do all the shopping? I just give you the list and give you the cash.
Well, you know where my
And all the
shopping-
bill paying is. No. I
you know where
mean,
my
for whatever I
shopping store
need.
is, though. My shopping store would be Summit Racing. So
Yeah,
whatever
that's
you
what he
get,
said, Miss Patty. What if it doesn't work or the app
yeah,
messes
right.
up?
What if you can't get on the app to turn your card on or activate your card for whatever reason, and you need to use it right then for whatever? No Little Debbie's. I'll be doing the shopping though. Y'all heard her. She put me in control of the shopping.
To use a credit card? See, we've not ever really done plastic like that. I mean, we have our
Yeah.
debit cards, that's our bank thing. And that was something I was afraid of. I was like, okay, did they hack my debit card or did they hack my checking account? Because I was like, if that's the case, I'm going to close the whole shebang and just start over some other which way.
Yeah, even the credit card would be better. And just like you said, when
That's
you use
awesome,
it, turn
Kate.
around and pay
I
it
can't
back.
wait to see it. See, now you need to video that stuff. If your friend will let it, or keep it off of them, you can video hands and working. And
Southern Bless, we're about the same boat.
well,
for sure.
But that's the thing, though, Mac and Patty. They would have actually got that amount of money if we'd had it in the account. But I had only left just enough to cover the next bill that was coming out, which is the internet server, and so they just got that money and I had a little extra in there for paying sisters if I had an emergency and needed to leave
They
and
would
have
have hit
somebody
it
here
for
for mom.
$1,400 and something dollars. But
They hit it for 2,000 and something, but they actually got 200 and something, or right around 200.
Phone. Good gracious.
Nutty Buddies. That's one of his
But
favorites.
yeah, most times.
Casey's pregnant though, so we're gonna let her go with
yeah,
that.
yeah.
Credit
Eating for
cards
two,
or
so-
credit you can wait to get paid back if they're compromised. Details is liquid asset. Well, I'll look into
That's
that.
kind of the way I am too. I'll put something in there, right, and that day or the next day, I'm paying the bill out of that I just put in there for it. So I don't leave much in mine either for that reason. But if it happens to get hit at the right time,
When the checks go are
know,
deposited in payrolls and stuff, that would be a problem.
that's the scary part. But it's just not only that; it's just a headache of having to go and have it blocked and you know, whether it's for $100 or $200. I mean, if you like me, $200 is a lot of money to me.
Julie, we just always lived by the rule: if you don't have enough to pay for it, you don't buy it. Don't put it on credit. I mean, that's just how we've always done things. But it makes sense. Somebody else told me that too.
And it's always been that way. Now we've had to go and make loans and get stuff. That,
I'm talking about like MasterCharge
Oh,
or Discover. We don't have all that. We've not done that. That was the decision. That's what I was saying.
Yeah.
That was a decision we made a long time ago not to do that. Yeah, me too,
Yeah.
Kate. Just save up for it. That's why there's not a big fancy greenhouse sitting out there. I don't want
right,
to make a debt
Pete,
for
yep.
that.
That's definitely a good idea.
Ooh, what are
I
you
have
doing?
rented wrote a check out of my account since I've had it open. I've had it open for what? I don't know.
That's something else we do
2
different than
years,
most folks.
3
We
years.
have separate everything. He keeps his payroll in his stuff. I keep my stuff in mine, and so we don't confuse it up.
Ours just got aggravating because every time I want to go order a parts or something other and want to use my card, then I'd have to go and put money in the account and hers, and then use it to order my stuff. So I just sit down and went and opened my own up, and that way, if I know what I need, and I can just go put it in there when I get ready to order something, and just order it without having to go through
Thanks,
all that.
Julie. You giving me more to think about. Now tell me the recommendations on which company's better. Don't let me pick your brain too hard, because I will. Yeah.
Right. That's exactly right.
We split the bills too. It's crazy. I mean, we've been married 30 years. This works for us. I take care of the house note and the house insurance stuff. He takes care of all the utilities and whatever else comes along. David on the prayer list. He had a problem last Monday. Thanks for just breathing.
We just figured out
Oh no.
what everyday necessity bills are outside of anything emergency, which nobody knows when that's going to come up. But we just took our everyday bills and try to allot so much, for groceries and everything, and just kind of split it down the middle so we'd be both kind of equally paying out about the same amount. That's just the way we did it, and it seems to work for us. Not saying that worked for everybody, but that just seems what works for us.
Yeah.
So it ain't just I got mine, she's got hers. We just kind of combined everything and split everything down the middle and pay what needs to be paid, and then
what's left over, if he wants to spend it on parts, that's his business. If I want to buy seeds, it's mine.
Right. We don't put none of that.
The running joke around here is, have you checked the mail? Or he'll say, anything else besides seeds come in the mail today? Because he already knows most of the days there's going to be a pack of seeds in that mailbox.
So yeah, we just take care of everything. The household comes first, and then if we have enough left over to do the side things that we like to do, then we'll do those. But of course, the side things gets held up if emergencies come up, naturally. So,
okay, Carol, I'm going to Marco Polo you about that. We'll have to check into all that.
Yeah. That's exactly right, Moon Phone.
Tracy,
it works for us.
It does.
Everybody's got their own, I guess, system figured out of how they do things, but the joke was made years ago, or I say the joke, or the statement was made years ago, as long as I can remember, when a couple decided to get married, especially down south. The statement was, whenever you decide you're going to get married, what's mine's hers and what's hers is hers. Now, I don't know if y'all have ever heard that or not, but...
And that's what I believe.
But that ain't how we do it. That ain't how we do
it.
There is a lot of truth to that.
Yeah.
Hey, Mac, I understand. Got a guy that works for me. He said he never. And I don't know how many years he's been working, but he's on up in his late 60s, or mid to late 60s now, and he said he's never seen his paycheck.
Are you kidding?
I'm not kidding. His wife takes care of it.
He's gonna be in a mess if something happens to her.
So that's true, Pete.
My oldest daughter knows everything that I do. She knows how to get into all of my accounts to shut them down. So if something crazy happened to me at this very moment or tomorrow or whatever, she knows what to do to help him. Or if he's gone, she knows exactly what to do to shut everything down, or take care of the legacies or whatever on all accounts.
That's true, Trace.
Right. And money is a big problem for a lot of couples, especially if they don't know how to live from paycheck to paycheck. And then they, you know,
I'll go
one's a heavy spender and one's not. That's a problem.
I'll go in to the store from time to time, or I'll go somewhere and she'll say, "Will you bring me back one of those monsters drinks?"
Hmm.
But if I ask her to go in there and bring me back a little Debbie, you see,
Mine's not sugar. Like it is chemical, but it's not sugar. Yeah, I
Lord
tell
have
him I'm
mercy.
not going to buy Debbie's or ice cream. He'll say, "Run by Sonic and get me this." No, negative. Not doing it. He's supposed to be cutting out sugar, but I noticed he's been snitching around a little bit.
very little, not a whole lot. Oh. But I've cut way back as to what I was doing.
Thrifty's bad.
All right.
Sugar's the devil. Yeah. Yeah, we
But
have
the
gotten
oil's
so
so good.
sidetracked.
Yeah.
It's 11:30 and he hadn't even read his scripture. Hey,
I don't
Connie.
have a long one this morning, guys. It's just something that
Caffeine not bad for you, honey.
I thought
It's the
about a few
taurine
days.
in it, the chemical components that's bad for you. It's not the caffeine.
The new coffee.
Just come to pay the card off before the bill comes out, and you
I-
don't get stuck paying any interest. That was my next question.
Yeah.
Was about the interest.
Yeah,
It
if you
wasn't
pay
the
it
bill.
off before the bill comes out, you
Okay.
won't be any
So we
interest,
might
like you
do
said.
that. We'll have to look into that and find what's going to work good for us. I don't mind doing it that way.
I mean,
It'd be the same
right.
difference.
I mean,
I'd just be
if
mailing
you
a
put the
payment
money
to
on
them.
the card, debit card, and then you turn around and order something, then that money was there to cover it anyway. Same way as credit card. So if you're going to order something, just make sure you got the money that you're going to order it, and then turn around before the bill comes and pay that off.
Okay. We'll get into that.
Makes sense.
I was thinking about that for the business, and now I guess I better think about that for the personal, huh? You
Yeah,
too.
It is something to think about. But anyway,
Yeah, our credit scores are good, but it's because we don't accumulate a whole lot of debt. We've got a few little things. The house mortgage, you know, and we pay that before the date it's due every single time, that kind of stuff. So that kind of shows up on your reports. Every now and then they'll say you need to add a credit card, and I just ignore it, but I guess they're right. Okay, I'm hushing them.
But,
Caffeine Ye-
it's in the 40s here, upper 40s, was earlier, and raining. And I need to get out there and do something to my car today, but it don't look like it because the ground's gonna be wet. And I don't have a slab to put it on, concrete slab.
It's 50 there. Gotta change the oil.
But
gotta change-
when we get ready to do the little small devotion this morning, and I say that short, 1 Kings chapter 18 is where I'll be reading a couple verses of scripture from. With the, I don't know, Diana, where y'all, Anna may know, where are they from, Diana?
I think she's in California.
Just an hour from y'all? On Facebook, you see a lot of places that's starting to show up saying that it is, but I don't know.
I was gonna look into more of that on vaccines and stuff for the kids. I know that they give that coronavirus vaccine to our animals, so I'm thinking that it may be in part of one of those vaccines for kids. And I'm wondering, y'all, I just think about weird stuff sometimes. I'm just wondering if this is not a political plot to draw attention away from all this impeachment stuff. And I don't know. I just think about
I don't
stuff
blame
like
you, Mark. Yeah, I use cardboard too, man. At times when the ground's dry,
You
but
go
if it's
crazy.
wet, then where mine's parked, it just, when it rains beside it, it just runs underneath it and wets the ground, and I can't do anything on the ground.
Mark, she's showing you her trophy. She wants you to be proud of her or him. Our cats will
So
do that
you just
too.
need to train to bring it to the bedside at the foot of it and meow, and then you can say thank you, and I'll take it on.
Yeah, Brenda. Brenda, you and I think a lot alike. Okay, hey,
Taco
Michelle.
night. Hey, Michelle.
Taco Tuesdays.
Yeah. But like I said, guys, it's 1 Kings chapter 18.
He's still alive.
Uh-oh.
Oh, yeah.
I see more interesting.
Daddy, help me catch the help me play. Let's play,
Want to
Daddy.
play?
She's trying to teach
Move
you
on
to
from
hunt.
teach you to hunt. That's pretty funny.
Bless it.
We've had that happen before. Wasn't live though. We had one that thought every time she caught one time she had to bring it to you. To just show you.
Okay. Go ahead, because time's getting away from you, and if you decide or they have a question.
Yeah. Like I said, guys, it's just a couple verses of scripture this morning we're going to read. And I've got it pulled up on my phone.
James Warback, how are you? And that is interesting.
This is some strange church this morning. Cats
I
and
know.
mice.
We hadn't even got to the devotion yet. We've been running our mouths today.
Yeah. But that's what's enjoyable about it to me. It's just laid back, not, dead serious, all tightened up or whatever you want to call it. But anyway, like I said, we're gonna read 1 Kings chapter 18, and we're gonna read verse 43 and 44. And this is just something that's been on my mind a few days. And I'm going to go ahead and read the scripture this morning. And I'm reading out of King James Version, but whatever version that you have is fine. 1 Kings 18, verse 43, and said to his servant, speaking of Elijah here, said to his servant, go up now and look toward the sea. And he went up and looked and said, there is nothing. And he said, go again 7 times. Verse 44 said, and it came to pass at the 7th time that he said, behold, there ariseth a cloud out of the sea like a man's hand. And he said, go up, say unto Ahab, prepare thy chariot, and get thee down, that the rain stop thee not. Now I want to read that latter half of that verse again, and let that kind of sink in this morning as we go along. Elijah said, and he said, go up, and say to Ahab, prepare thy chariot, and get thee down, that the rain stop thee not. Like I said, guys, this has been on my mind for a few days now. If you go back and read prior to where we're at, there's been a 3.5-year drought that has taken place. And the Lord began to speak to Elijah and lead him and guide him to start praying for rain. And this morning, I kind of want to talk to you just a few minutes about sometimes we get discouraged when we begin to pray for something, and I'm trying to think of the right word to use, but we'll begin to pray for something to receive from the Lord, and if it don't come to us in an overwhelming form or style, sometimes our faith begins to weaken, and it leaves room for our minds to begin to doubt and begin to kind of wander off, so to speak, of believing if it's even from the Lord, if the blessing is even coming from the Lord. And so I wanna remind you this morning that the Lord answers us, and His answers to our prayers sometimes, and our blessings that we receive sometimes, at the beginning doesn't come in overwhelming fashion. But that doesn't mean that it's not going to be a tremendous blessing before he's through. And I hope that makes sense to you this morning as we go along. Here we have the story of where Elijah sends his servant. Elijah begins to believe the Lord. He begins to pray, and he's going on the promises of God, just like you and I have. We have those promises that we read in his word every day, that if we do these things and we line up this way, God's word has promised us that we will receive. He said, if you ask anything in my name, believing, you shall receive them. And so Elijah's beginning to believe the Lord because the Lord told him he's going to send rain. And so he looks at his servant and he says, okay, he said, I'm going to be praying. I want you to go look. So the servant goes out there and he looks and he comes back. Nothing but blue sky. I don't see anything, Elijah. And he told him, he said, go back 7 times. And each time he would report back, I still don't see anything. Now, here's where a lot of times we fail and we miss out on the blessings of God is we may stop at the 5th time that we prayed over this. How many you've ever told yourself, when you begin to pray over a situation that you may be facing or you're needing the Lord to answer you on, I prayed for this already. And you may have talked to yourself and you prayed again. And it still hadn't came. And then the 3rd time you said, well, I don't know. I done prayed for this. Am I doing something wrong? It's not that you're doing anything wrong. It's all in God's timing. And so he sends his servant back. He's told him to go back 7 times. And each time, up to that 7th time, that servant reported back to Elijah, there's nothing there. There's nothing to report. I don't see anything. Why do I have to keep going? Why do I have to keep praying over this? Why do I have to keep believing for this? The promise has been made. So Elijah's servant went that 7th time, and even that 7th time he looks out across the horizon and he sees a cloud, the Bible says, the size of a man's hand. Now I've often wondered how much faith that this servant put into that. But it was a report of something that he hadn't reported previous 6 trips up there. Now he's got a report that he's coming back. Well, Elijah, I did see something. I did see a little cloud the size of a man's hand. But in that servant's mind, he was probably thinking, you know, that's normal. That's not anything that's elaborate like I was expecting to see. I expected to see the heavens darkened, the sky darkened with a humongous cloud that you couldn't see the start of it or the end of it. Like most times when we begin to pray, a lot of times we fall into that category that when we begin to pray for the blessing of the Lord, we start looking for that overwhelming view of that blessing instead of the small beginnings of that blessing. Now, y'all know as well as I do, the Bible said the Lord's ways are not our ways. Our thinking's not like his thinking. And we get discouraged. Maybe you've been praying over something and just little things have started to fall in place. You didn't see that. You were expecting that overwhelming sight or circumstance to happen all at once. Sometimes it does, sometimes it don't. I can't explain that. But I know in these instances, like I read to you this morning, it started out as a cloud the size of a man's hand. But when he reported back to the prophet tells him this. He said, go tell Ahab to get in his chariot and head down off of this mountain if he don't want the rain to stop him, because the rain is coming. He said, I hear the sound of abundance of rain. What are you hearing this morning? What are you looking for this morning? Are you looking for that overwhelming view this morning that doesn't leave any room beyond doubt? How many times have we, and I can remember this many times, that I would see a cloud, and that cloud in just a few minutes would be extraordinary. I mean, it would be huge, and you would tell yourself, surely, we fixing to get some weather, we fixing to get some rain out of this cloud. But that cloud, the wind get in it and it blow around you. Somebody may have got some rain off of it, but you didn't where you were at. But it looked like you were going to. And so you judged that cloud and said, well, we fixing to get some rain, but it turned out that it didn't. And how many times have you just seen this small little cloud and said, you know, well, nothing to that, and the bottom fell out? Sometimes what we try to vision and what we see with our eyes and what we make of it doesn't appear to be what it is. And I said that to say this: it's just like that in our faith, believing God for things when we begin to pray for them. Just because it's not enormous and overwhelming doesn't mean the Lord's not answering your prayer. Excuse me this morning, fighting these allergies and sinuses. But I said that this morning, and I'm going to add this in there if I can talk. When Peter and them were fishing, been out on sea all night long. Peter and them was an experienced fisherman. He caught fish in the past. He knows what he's doing. And sometimes you and I, we think, well, you know, I've been living for the Lord for many, many, many years. I've been serving the Lord for many, many years. I kind of know what to do. But in this particular situation, your faith is struggling to keep believing, to keep praying, to keep looking. Peter experienced that, fished all night long. All night long. And the Lord came up to him, Jesus came up to him. He said, guys, have you caught anything? They said, no. He said, we fished all night long. We ain't caught nothing. Many of them were already cleaning their nets up, getting the salty water washed off of them, whatever they did to mend those nets to keep them in good shape for the next fishing trip, putting them away, getting them tucked away back on the boat, give up. Ain't gonna catch nothing tonight, we're gonna try. And he asked me, he said, guys, have you caught anything? He said, no, we fished all night. Jesus told him, he said, launch out into the deep. Let your net down on the other side. Now here's where we find ourselves at. But Master, we fished all night long. I'm an experienced fisherman. I know how to fish. They're just not biting. They're just not there. They're just not there to catch. And besides that, we've done cleaned these nets. We've done had these nets out there one time, and we've got them cleaned up. Now you're asking us to go put these nets back out there again? Going against everything that human nature tells me that it's not going to work. Sometimes that human nature kicks into our prayer life and saying, you prayed over this already. Nothing happened. What's the use? I've went and I've looked out across this horizon for 6 times and I've not seen anything. Even the 7th time I've only saw a little cloud. But the Bible said, Peter said, nevertheless, at thy word, I'll let down the nets. So he launched back out, got those clean nets back out, got out there in that deep water, let the nets down. And the Bible said that they began to draw in a multitude of fish, insomuch that the nets, they thought their nets, their fishing nets was going to break, and they beckoned to their partners on the shoreline to come out there and to get in and help out. I don't know how many ships, how many boats launched into that fishing adventure, but here's what I do know. that you can rest assured there was some on that shoreline that missed out on that blessing because they refused to get their nets back out there and launch out one more time. They missed out on that blessing. They missed out on that experience in the Lord. And sometimes I said that, guys, to say this morning, don't miss out on your blessing. Because it hadn't came today in the fashion that you thought it would, that prayer answer didn't come the way you thought it should today, don't let that deter you from praying again over it. Don't let that deter your faith or weaken your faith in believing that God is the same yesterday, today, and forever. That's just a little simple thought this morning that's been on my mind. And that I know I face these things. So, I figured there's other folks out there today that's like me. We struggle through that. Are we perfect? By no means no. Are we going to continue to struggle with it? Probably so from time to time. But thank God His Word reminds us that He is the same yesterday, today, and forever, and He changes not, friend. So just because it don't come like we think it should, don't let that deter you from believing God. Don't let somebody tell you that the Lord doesn't care, or if He did, He done answered you. The answer may be on the way, but you was looking at it in the wrong aspect. You was looking at this overwhelming thing that was going to happen instead of noticing the overwhelming cloud that was forming. So He told Ahab to close this little devotion out. Get in the chariot. If you don't want the rain on you, you better get off the mountain because it's coming. So this morning, your prayer this morning over that situation, it may be today. Not saying it is, I'm not saying it ain't. Could be today. That most time when you struggle the hardest to pray over it, that could be the one. So it's just a little food for thought this morning. A little bit of encouragement to keep pressing on. As times change and things gets harder, and so naturally everything else in our aspect gets harder. It gets harder to pray sometimes. It gets hard to pray when it seems like they're just hitting the ceiling and bouncing back and falling in your lap. But know this, God's listening. God is listening. Keep on persevering. The Bible said, he that endureth to the end is going to be the one that's going to reap the prize. I appreciate you this morning for coming in, tuning in with us. Just a little food for thought this morning. And we'll continue on with a live. And but I do appreciate, love everybody, and hope this has been some encouragement to somebody. It's encouraged me. It helps me from time to time. I get out of sorts sometimes, and you say, "Oh, Terry, yeah." I get out of sorts sometimes, and my believing sometimes I have to regroup myself and say, "Oh, wait a minute now. You're thinking wrong. You're looking wrong. So what are you looking for this morning? What are you listening for this morning?" Amen. We got to be looking, and we got to be listening, and we got to be believing. If we'll do those three things, we'll find that the Lord is ever more present than He ever has been in our life. Amen. God bless you this morning. I appreciate you listening to us, and hope I've been an encouragement to you this morning. You want to add something to that?
Brenda, we were praying for you. I didn't know what all was going on. I knew you were stuck away from home. But we've been praying for you, and glad you made it back home safe. Hey, Mark, and Simply Southern, I'm glad you came in when you did, and I believe God ordained for you to come in when you did. It'll work out.
Yes, overlook.
It's just going to, it's in God's timing, and you know that just as well as we do.
Right.
Sarah.
Your granddaughters,
Sorry.
They're very sick. Yes, you can. We'll definitely be praying for them, and just keep believing God. That's the bottom line. I know it. I'm not saying that lightly. That it's an easy thing to do, because it's not.
No, it's not.
Faith is not easy, because if you really look at the definition of what faith is, it's the substance of things hoped for, but sometimes it's the evidence of things that we don't see just yet. So it's kind of hard to have faith in something that we can't see, but the Bible says if we'll persevere and we'll keep that faith and we'll keep believing and trusting, we shall see them.
Yeah.
It's not simple as it sounds.
That brings me back to earlier, before we ever even started, and I was messing with you about my goals. See, I see those things, and you're sometimes my doubting Thomas that, you know. So I'm gonna put this back on you.
I don't say I'm doubting.
No, I'm just aggravating him.
By no means.
Prayers for
I'm
her.
on board with it, and I'm
Okay.
praying for it to happen.
What do you do for work, James? And where are you at? Kind of just general location. Don't give us a specific location.
Yeah, James, I know how you feel, brother. We've been right there. We've been right there. We've shared these testimonies before in some devotions and some lives that when we look in the cupboard,
Treat work in Seattle.
there would be no
Okay.
food in the cupboard. And I've been times that I've had tremendous notes due, and was asked to run a revival one time. And before that whole week during that revival, we barely got enough to pay for our fuel going back and forth to preach that revival. And I was working every day too. But this was a need that was out of our hands, that we, even by us working, you know, we had other things coming out of that paycheck that wasn't going to cover this need. So we barely got enough to cover our fuel to go preach that night. And finally on a Friday night, Saturday night, I was going on into a Saturday night. That Friday evening, matter of fact, I come in and told Anna, and I told her, we was talking, I said, you know what, I think I'm going to call Pastor and just tell him I can't make it Saturday night. I just can't, I was looking for that need to happen all week long. And I said, this is Saturday night, probably going to be less people there on a Saturday night than there were through the week. That's just kind of the way it is in our area. And so I told her, I said, you know what, I think I'm going to call the pastor and tell him something's come up, I can't make that Saturday night. But something wouldn't let me do it. Something just kept urging me and telling me, go on and do it, go on and do it. And so I got ready that Saturday night. For some reason, she wasn't going to be able to go with me. And I was kind of down and out. I was kind of discouraged over it. And I even told the Lord in my prayer time, I said, how can I go preach to others? And I was going to preach a message on when I need him, he comes. I said, how can I go preach to others when I need you and you come, Lord, when I need you now? I was struggling with this. I mean, this was real. This was on me. And before I left that Saturday evening to make my way to the church, it was close to about 30 miles from where I lived to the church where I was preaching at. And it just a little country church, a little small church way in the boondock part of the woods. I walked out on the porch of our home. I told her, I said, I'll see you when I get back in. And I was almost to step down the doorsteps off the porch to go get my vehicle to leave. And the Spirit of God quickened my spirit, said, turn around and go back and tell your wife it's going to be okay. I didn't even know it was going to be okay. But I just felt led to do that. So I turned around, I walked in, I opened the door, stuck my head in the door and told Anna, I said, don't worry about it, it's going to be all right. This is something that had to be met Monday morning.
I think I
Deadline.
remember what happened.
Deadline.
I was real sick back then. The girls were little, and I had cancer. And we had a checking account. And I went to my doctor, and I think the check was like for $200 and something. I wrote it and forgot to write it down. And back then, we didn't do online banking. And I mean, this was 20 something years ago. Maybe 22 years ago or something. And I think I had messed up the checking account, and we had overdrafts after another coming, like
It was
4,
like-
5, 6 of them,
it was
like
like-
wham bam, because
like-
of it. And our insurance for me at that time, we got a bill from that hospital that was what?
$1,400.
Yeah, and my insurance was supposed to cover it, and it didn't. But what it was a filing error or something, because they called back on that Monday morning, and we called to try to make payment arrangements or something. But I mean, it was just like big financial mess all at one time. Anyway, I'm sorry. It just
But
dawned on me what it was.
It was a tremendous bill that we had to pay. And I went on that Saturday night, and we preached in that revival, the altar service. I mean, it was just a tremendous service. And the whole time I'm thinking, surely, yeah, at any minute, nothing. And I done sat down, service was closing, the pastor was up, and he was giving the closing remarks of the service that night, appreciating everybody coming out and revival that week and so forth and so on. Nothing up till now led me to believe that that it was going to be tonight. At this point, I'm really down now. I don't know what to do. I don't know what to think. All I need to do is just keep trusting. And then all of a sudden, for some reason, I never told the pastor anything that was going on. Never said one word about it, the need that we had. And the pastor said, as he was preaching, he said, I've got to add this in there. He said, as he was
3
preaching,
o'clock Central for Southern Blessed live stream.
He said, the Lord laid on my heart to give him $100. When he said that, people that was there, and they wasn't very many. When I tell you a handful, it was just a little over a handful of folks that was there. But before we left that night, the Lord met that need. Not only that, but here's the kicker to it, friend. We got to the bank Monday morning to pay that bill off. And it was that amount of money. I can't remember what it was now, off the top of my head. But it was that amount of money and 1 cent. And the banker looks at Anna and tells her the price that was owed at 1 cent. She said, well, I've got a penny out in the vehicle. Let me go get it. And the banker said, and I know this is insignificant and this, you know, it's just a penny, but this is how the Lord, when he works in that situation, whenever he comes through in it, he meets it, friend. And he'll use anybody to get it met. The banker said, never mind. He said, I got a penny right here in my desk. And he put that penny to it. Now, I know that doesn't sound like much, but to me, sometimes that was greater than the $100 that the people was giving. Why? Because the Lord used that banker to contribute to my need. He let me see that, hey, if you'll keep your faith and your trust in me, I'll even cause the banker to include in on it. Whew. Now, you think about that for a minute.
Hey,
Now,
Leanna.
she was talking about, and the guys, I'll give you this one too. She was talking about the medical bill that came up, $1,400. That came, best my memory serves me, the very first message after I had struggled with a call to preach for years and years. Finally told my home pastor that the Lord had placed a calling on my life. And he said, well, okay. He said, well, let me know when you're ready. I'll turn you loose on a Wednesday night. Well, I had a thought then, but I told him I ain't ready yet. I ain't got nothing, but I did. And he knew it, but he knew I was nervous too. Well, I finally went to him and said, confessed to him that the Lord had given me something when I talked to him. He said, I knew he had. I was just waiting on you.
All right, James, we're going to pray.
Yeah.
And I'm going to look and see who all I know in Washington. I know the Fermented Homestead. They're in Washington, and they might be a connection for you. Look up Anna at the Fermented Homestead on YouTube and just kind of check out their information and see if they're in your area. I've got her hometown wrote down somewhere.
You right, Mr. Willie.
Can't get to it right now. It's in my phone.
Right quick, I'm going to finish this thing and I'm going to hush. But anyway, $1,400 medical bill. And Before I preached that message that Wednesday night, the Lord had laid on my heart, and I told Anna.
Wait a minute, 1,400. I thought it was 6,000.
I don't remember.
It was a big amount.
Anyway.
It was like 6,000, I believe.
Anyway, it's irrelevant. Whether it's 1,400, 6,000, it doesn't matter. We didn't have the money to pay it. So
Right.
That's the whole point. And here's the thing. Before I preached that night, I didn't know. Usually,
Hey,
our
already?
pastor for years, you know, when somebody gets up there and preach, he always tells them, "All right, come on, folks, let's give them my offering." And that night, he said, "Let's give them my offering. Terry won't carry Anna out and get her a hamburger after church," something like that, you know. Well, I didn't know what it was going to be. Well, we knew we had this need that was coming up. And when service was over with that night, he handed me the little offering that he gave me. And guys, it's not about the offerings.
It's about
Even
God
though they're held,
answering.
right. But I told her before the service that night, I said, whatever I get, I said, take this. And there was a certain family at that time that was on my mind. I said, take it and give it to her. I don't know why. I said, but do it. So I headed off to work that Monday morning. I got $150 in offering that night. I was blown away. Never expected. I was just expecting a hamburger. Well, when I got that and seen the amount of it, naturally, the flesh said, boy, you need that. But Spirit of God said, you know what you said? You know what I laid on your heart to do? Well, yeah, Lord. You know, now I'm wrestling. But I told her, I said, no. I said, take it, give it to this lady that I told you to do. I went on to work Monday morning. She takes it, gives it to this young lady. Come to find out, they had 3 kids. She did. The gas had been turned off. It's cold. Nothing to cook with, nothing to heat the house with. They done that. Well, boy, I felt good, you know. All right. I obeyed God. Had that warm feeling that you get. And then the enemy comes and said, boy, you could have used that. You know, you got that bill coming up that you can't pay. You know how he talks to you. You guys know how he talks to you. Well, I began to rise slow. Well, I got home Monday afternoon, and the insurance began to call. The hospital began to call. Mr. Cooley? Yeah. Well, you know, you got this and this bill due, and we want to know how you're going to pay this. What method are you going to pay this with? I said, folks, I don't have it. I can pay you $5 a month, whatever I can come up with. Oh, that just won't do, Mr. Cooley. We got to have a significant amount, this amount now. It was a tremendous amount.
That's where the 1,400 came in.
Yeah,
'Cause the
we got to
total
have
bill
this
was
amount now,
6,000.
and there's no other solution to it. I said, I don't know what else to tell you. I said, I don't have it. I can pay you this so much a month. I said, but I don't have that kind of money. If I had it, I would pay you. We owed it, and I knew I did, but I didn't have it. And they said, well, let us call you right back. I said, all right. So I get off the phone now. Now my warm feeling of giving that offering, all that's gone. Choo, it's gone. I lost it. The human, that old fleshly nature is done kicked in, it's gone. So I'm down and out now. Oh, have mercy. I could have offered them 150, I guess, if I had it. But I didn't have it. I didn't give it away. Well, the phone rings again. Same people on the phone. I said, yes, sir. He said, about the money that we want you to come up with. I said, yes, sir. I said, I told y'all, I said, I don't know what else to do. I don't have it. I can pay you this a month. They said, that's what we want to talk
All
to you
right,
about.
Pete.
And guys, y'all excuse me, I get excited over this, and this has been many years ago, but I still remember it like it was yesterday that happened. They said, that's what we want to talk to you about. Said, don't worry about it. It's just been took care of. Whew. That's what I'm talking about, persevering in prayer. Keep believing. Keep holding on to it. No matter how the old fleshly side of you wants to wilter under it, just keep holding on to the promises of God. That's what it's all about this morning, friend. God bless y'all for listening to me ramble on.
We
I
have went
appreciate
over.
you. Yeah, we went over a little bit for sure.
Oh, yeah.
But it's been good.
That was a tough time, but God took care of it all. as you can see, I don't have cancer. I did not have to take radiation and chemo and all that stuff. I had surgery, but they got it all, and it took me about a year to get built back up. I was super anemic. Like blood count was 6, I think, or below. It may have been 5.9. It was right at 6.
Right,
You know,
Tracy.
normal is 12 to 13. So it was a bad time, and the girls were little, and he was fearful that he was going to have to try to raise 2 little girls by himself, and you know, but God was faithful, and He brought us through that. And
I could go on this morning, guys. There's been a lot of avenues that we could have went, and in our lifetime, ever since we finally accepted the call to preach back in 94,
yep, Simply Southern. It was ordained for you to be here today.
I believe, wasn't it? I think it was back in
Yeah.
94. I finally accepted. I've been struggling with it before then, but in 94 I accepted the call to preach. So
Yeah.
a lot of avenues, a lot of different directions we could have went that I could
Till
share with
Kate
you
goes
guys
on, or Stivers.
on another live stream. Maybe one day the Lord leads me to it, and didn't work out for whatever reason. But the Lord had it all. He knew what He was doing. Could I have made financially decisions for our lives better in some of those decisions? Probably, but I don't know what else would have been the repercussions of those decisions. So, you know,
All right, Renee, have a good day, girl. Yep.
have at least till 1 p.m.
Yeah.
Drinking my late breakfast. I heard that. But
Yeah.
I appreciate you guys staying in here and staying with us and listening to us talk and to share with you. And I do want to say this. I don't feel like anybody thinks that, but we're not trying to push anything on anybody, you know, as far as our belief or our thing. I just want to share with people and try to encourage and you know, just be the light that I can. I ain't saying, you know, I'm not pushing that you guys have got to live like I live or believe like I believe. By no means, that ain't what we're trying to do, and that's what this has never been about. It's been about encouraging in difficult times that we all go through, and you guys, whenever y'all comment back, sometimes there's scripture or thoughts that you put out there that helps me in times of this doing these devotions more than what you think. And I appreciate that, and I encourage y'all to continue to do that as we continue to do these, because that helps me. That lets me know that you guys are in tune, and you know, and y'all go through things, and y'all, you know, when you feel less, share them. By all means, share them, because hey, I get encouraged from that.
Yeah. All right, guys, we are going to hop off, and we will see y'all live stream again Friday night, and we'll try to get a video out. I've got a bunch of his stuff all together that I've got to edit through, and I keep procrastinating because it's a lot to make it make sense where everybody understands what's going on. So, because I did it in clips here and there, you know, as he was working on stuff, because some stuff he didn't want videoed.
Yes.
Yeah. Yep, that's how it was at that time, Michelle. I mean, I've been a nurse since '92, but the girls were small, and I was sick, and I was at home and not working. And I chose to stay home while they were small, and not, I mean, you know, and not work, even though it was hard. That was my choice.
And in those times when God meets it all at once, it's great. It's tremendous. But now, sometimes He doesn't do that. He lets our faith grow, sometimes little by little in a circumstance.
You too, Carol.
You know, and those things, I can't answer why He chooses to do them the way He does them. That's the Lord. Maybe one day when we get there, we'll get to ask Him.
I think He's trying to teach us some things.
But
Sometimes we don't get
right.
the lesson.
It's building our. if just say we as parents, if every time our child came to us with something, and we never told them no, and then tell them why we're telling them no, if we always said, okay, here, then they would grow up and listen. That's what they would expect, you know, because
We
they
got
wouldn't be
one like
told any
that.
different, you know. So, and that's kind of the way it is with the Lord. You know, sometimes it's going to be no, and we may not understand that, and we don't like
Bye,
that.
Miss Linda.
We didn't like it as kids growing
And
up being
yes,
told
Lisa,
no.
we're still praying for you too, hon. Yeah. Well, y'all have a great day. Don't forget, Miss Kate will be on live for Inside Kate's Kitchen in a bit. The Stivers is doing their reveal on whatever critter they've got for the homestead at 1.
Yeah,
Then
appreciate.
Southern Bless will be on at 3. And then this evening, you got Heirloom
Exactly, Michelle.
Permaculture, Overlook Valley, Roots Refuge. So, lots
A
to
lot
look
going on
forward
this
to.
afternoon for sure. Appreciate all the moderators that came in,
Yes.
posting the links, sharing the links. Those that
Troll watching.
appreciate everybody coming in. I can't say enough about you guys coming
You're
in
gonna ask him about mosquitoes.
and having a look at this thing, do a devotion. God bless you for that. But I'm gonna have to do something. I see though to get my head shining a little bit more. Set directly on one of these lights, I reckon.
It looks,
I'm gonna put a LED right
you
there.
look like Mr. Clean to me. You need to do some updates. Yeah. Connie, thank y'all. So,
We may do one of these Sundays, and you guys be ready to join in, and y'all can help me, just to kind of share some testimonies. Maybe have like a testimony deal one Sunday morning of encouragement of what God has done for you and helped you through a situation, because you know there's things out there that God's helped you guys with that maybe you don't get the opportunity to share like that in that kind of atmosphere like we're doing on the devotions. I think it would be good if. What do you guys say about that about next Sunday?
okay. Brenda, you got that backwards, honey. He's blessed us with y'all.
Exactly right. Exactly right.
March is coming up fast. We'll be getting our
Let's
hugs.
see.
Julie says
I'll tell you
yes.
what. Let's put it Sunday week. What's Sunday week's date?
Don't know. My phone's occupied. I do nothing without my phone.
I just thought about something next weekend.
Is there a Bible for babies and toddlers you like? Yeah, Tracy, I'll email it to you. There's lots of them out
Let's
there. Just
see.
anything really simple. And
Today's the
when I first got in
26th.
church, even though I went to church when I was a kid, but when I really got into going to church, I read the children's Bible and the teenagers' Bible. Just to help me
February.
understand stuff. For the first year, probably.
We'll be announcing this again too,
February 9th.
February 9th. Would you guys be interested in doing something like that? Sharing with us on this devotional Sunday? Some of your testimonies? I mean, y'all give me some feedback on it.
Julie said yes.
I think it's a pretty good idea because, you know, like I said before, I can get encouraged from those, and others can get encouraged from those of hearing about what God's doing, not just from me, you know, but from all you guys as well. I think it would be awesome.
Tracy, nothing wrong with that. Nothing at all. You do what you gotta do.
Yep. All right, guys, then we'll set that for February the 9th, and y'all be willing.
So be thinking about it
Who knows? Hey,
and condense it down because it
Y'all
only
may-
lets you do a 200 letter or less, or it won't post. So you may have to break it into 2 posts if it's a little longer. But just I'm just letting you know, it won't post if you got 200
Or-
or more letters.
yeah, or just give the gist of the blessing, and then we can discuss it
Yeah.
in shorter comments if that needs to be. Anyway, we need to work it out because I want to hear them.
Wow, Eli.
I always look forward in church service to testimony service, hearing the testimonies of what God's doing in other hearts and lives. It lets me know, hey, you know, I ain't the only one that's been struggling. I ain't the only one that's been going at this alone. There's been others that's facing this and facing that, you know. And it just helps us out to hear from others. So,
Carol, you're
Yeah.
like me. We talk a lot.
be brief. But yeah, like I said, you can be brief and just saying what the Lord, if it's longer, and then we can break it down,
Yeah,
you know, if we have to, and comments.
just the topic maybe, financial or health or something like that, and then
The
that'll
Lord,
get it
the
started.
Lord help me in this health, financial situation or spiritual situation or whatever it may be.
And that'll get the
And
door
get it
open to
started.
get the start.
Right.
Of it. That'd be good. February the 9th. Don't let me forget that, because you know I will. I remember so many things, but some things I forget.
Hey, and it's a great idea for you guys if you ever felt led of the Lord to share a video out on it. Something there to think about.
Happy birthday
Right,
early,
thank you.
Brenda.
60 tomorrow.
Yeah, he spared me quite a bit too.
Yeah, all of us. Yeah, we just had to talk fast.
Yeah.
It was hard to condense it, Carol, that's for sure.
Who's on today, Michelle? Inside Kate's Kitchen and the Stivers are going to do one.
Not so very far from now.
It's Kate's regular day, but the Stivers are premiering their new addition to the farm video. And then this afternoon at 3 Central is Southern Blessed Homestead. At 5 Central is Overlook Valley. At 6 Central is Heirloom Permaculture. Then 7 is Roots and Refuge, I think. I think I got that right. Do y'all know how many channels I keep up with?
I can't keep up with them.
And I try to help moderate for every one of them except for Roots and Refuge.
All right, guys. I know we've been on here a while. We got 43 thumbs up. Appreciate that, guys. It means a lot to us.
Yes.
Appreciate y'all coming in. Everybody joining in.
And y'all, thank you for looking at the website and giving me your feedback on it. Even though it's for locals for right now, and I'm not shipping, I just kind of want everybody's opinion on it. I tried to keep the colors subdued so that my pictures would pop. If y'all are wondering, why didn't she use a brighter color? That's why. I was trying to be logistic about it. All right. See y'all on the flip side.
Till next time, guys. Y'all keep holding on. Keep the faith in the Lord. He'll come through for you. God bless you. We love y'all. Appreciate you. See you next time.